And then finally military tech, which gives you better units. Better cavalry takes to level 14 to get from... These are all from the Western group. If you were another tech group, you would have completely different units here available. And the levels on which they open up are as well completely different. You also get just flat out bonuses to your troops, like the next level gives us all our land units a lot more morale and shock value. And you deal damage in either fire or shock phase, and depending on what values your units have on these, the more or less damage you do on that phase. Simple. Military tactics lowers the amount of damage you take. And this armory is the first of, or actually Earth Ramparts is the first, but still, of these military buildings that get opened up. They either up your fort defenses so that your provinces are more difficult to siege, or they give you a reduced recruitment time for units and make the units a bit cheaper to recruit, as well as giving you a certain number bonus to your manpower. Your manpower gets used to replenish your armies as they suffer casualties in wartime, so yeah, more manpower is always better. And yeah, supply limits means how many units... Sorry, unpaused there. Forgot that I had paused. How many units a single province can support without them starting to lose men to just attrition of not being able to feed your dues in that province. So that goes up considerably as the game progresses, so you can field larger and larger armies. So, maneuver makes your armies move faster, I think, and as well as position themselves better in battle, so that no units are just left with their thumbs up their bums, not doing anything. Combat width means how many units there is. In the combat screen, your dudes get aligned with on two lines, like front and back, and the amount of combat width determines how many units you can have in both your front row and then your back row, and like let them be effective. So and also how easy you are to flank. I think if your opponent has a better width than you, he has the advantage and can flank you a lot more easily. Cavalry is also gives you kind of flanking bonuses. I think, again, I must preface this with, I am not expert at this game, I just love it to pieces. And these are all like my personal ideas of how I understand the game mechanics. I have not read like any extensive guides on the subject. Okay, but that takes care of the tech screen, so let's move on to ideas. You unlock ideas at certain levels of admin tech, and after unlocked you get to choose from this group. You can have administrative, diplomatic and military ideas. These are kind of self-explanatory groups. Like administrative give you economic ideas or administrative ideas, espionage, religious, innovative. These are to do with your economy and your well-being of your provinces and so on. Okay. Holy Roman Empire elected Austria to lead it once again. Good, let's leave that at that. You can go the religious route. Oh. This is nasty. I don't want to lose the stability, but I hate losing relations with Lithuania. So this is an example of random event where you can choose between something, and usually it's either bad or worse. So this time we can either press the issue with this boundary dispute, which gives us a claim on Kovno, this province over here. However, it's and also naturally through that claim we gain a casus belli against Lithuania. but it also lowers Lithuania's opinion of us by 30 points. Now that 30 points does go away in time, but still we are trying to make buddy with them, and that puts us back a lot. However, the other opinion is to lose stability, and I don't want to do that, because stability is dear to me. I want the money it gives me, I don't want the lessened revolt risk and all the other good stuff, so we're just going to have to press the issue. Yeah, that pushed us down a lot. Yeah, we have a casus belli against them, so that's minus 15, and then the pressed issue over borders is minus 30. It goes down by 2.3 points a year, as you can see. So yeah, that's like, what, 12 years? 13 years before that's actually gotten rid of. Nuts. Oh well. C'est la vie. Let's keep on going and explain these ideas. So, where was I? Oh yes, so these have to do with how you deal with your provinces, and religious gives you permanent casus belli against all other religious groups. So we are, for example, Christian, so we'd have permanent casus belli against Muslim, or Far Eastern Buddhists and Hindu and just whatever, just everything that's not considered Christian. We'd get more missionaries. Our stability cost is cheaper, so cheaper to buy more stability with admin points. Then our missionaries would be better at converting provinces. Tolerance of true faith, so revolt risk goes down in all provinces that are of the quote-unquote correct religion for us, for our nation. We'd get free prestige just by existing, and our tolerance of heretics, so other Christian groups, not just Catholics, but Orthodox and later on Protestant and Reformed would go up. And finally, if you get all of these, you get as a bonus this last light bulb, which in religious tree gives us better relations over time, plus 100%. So our it would be easier to raise relations with in using diplomacy. No, diplomats. Okay, administrative ideas. Our prestige would decay slower. Here you can see it decays 0.9%, so we are actually gaining stuff because we have that advisor. That would lower it by a couple of points. Our mercenaries would or mercenary units would cost us less to recruit. Technology costs in general go down 5% for the entire rest of the game. Our army and navy tradition, which is military stuff, would decay a lot slower as well. Recruitment time goes down. We get a lot less war exhaustion per month, and we could have more leaders without it impacting our military power. And finally, our advisors would cost us a flat quarter less. I think both to recruit first off, and then their monthly wages would be less. Then we have espionage ideas. Our embargoing is a lot more effective. National spy defense goes up, so enemies or other nations using their diplomats to do spying things on us would take longer, and we would catch them in the act more easily. It would give us more spying options, could sabotage the reputation of a country in the eyes of other countries, get more diplomats as well as spy offense. We would lose less relations if our spies get caught. This, I think, raises the revolt risk, maybe? I'm not sure. We can make progress from speed enemies. Huh. I'm not entirely sure what sowing discontent does. I may have to look into that. And finally, allows us to infiltrate their administration. to find more detailed info about them. And finally, we can support rebels in another country far more effectively than we would be able to otherwise. Okay, economic, just our tax bonus, tax income goes up flat 10%. All buildings that we do are 1/5 cheaper. Our inflation goes down, should we have any, just by existing. Any loans we take would have a lot less interest we need to pay. A lot more advisor, or one more advisor to choose from, just for the rest of the game. Our troops would cost us less to maintain, and our production efficiency would go up 20%, and we could use administrative power to get rid of inflation by pressing this button. So not only would it go down by itself, we could also just press a button and it would go away somewhat. Really useful, that. Finally, administrative, mercenaries would cost us less, their maintenance would cost us less, and we have a lot more of them that we can grab. Also, the interest on loans would go down. Again, similar, more advisors to choose from, some spy defense, and then reducing war exhaustion by pressing a button here, just blink, would cost us less points. I don't remember if it was, I think it's administrative points for this as well. So that's it for this side of the ideas, and all of these ideas are bought with administrative points, and it costs 400 points to plonk one of these. Next we have diplomatic ideas. First, this one gives us an extra diplomat to use. If we use our diplomats to fabricate claims on other countries' provinces, this reduces the time it takes by 50%, which is huge because the claim fabrication takes like a year to pull off. I don't know exactly how long it takes, but it takes a long time, especially if they have like espionage ideas or administrative ideas or such that give you spy defense. Diplomatic relations +2. This is similarly to that we can't have more than X amount of leaders, in our case 1, before we start. It starts impacting how much military power we get. We can't have more than X amount of diplomatic relations. Here we have currently 2 out of 4. We have an alliance with Teutonic Order and the Hansa. So if we had 4 alliances and we tried to get a 5th, it would start costing us diplomatic points each month, or rather it would lessen the amount of points we get each month. So with that we can have 2 more of those kinds of relations. Royal marriages, alliances, vassal states, all of these, or military access through a nation, all these cost those diplomatic relations. You can have multiples with one nation. It's not like an alliance and a royal marriage with, for example, Lithuania would cost us 1 and 1. It's just that if you have any relations at all with Lithuania, it takes up 1 space. But you can pile them up one on top of each other. Okay, then adaptability. If we take a province that is not our core province, we should spend administrative points to create a core in said province. That would give us all kinds of bonuses, shall we say. So this, getting to this point would lessen the amount of admin points we need to use for coring provinces by a quarter. Permanent casus belli against all other government types, so if we are theocracy, we'd have casus belli against every single monarchy or republic in the game. Interesting. diplomatic reputation +3. I think that's just plain ups our how any and all nations view us. So that plays into getting alliances and such, but also convincing other states to become your vassal. I think. I may be wrong with that. Okay, leaving that because I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. Then flexible negotiations if we are at war and make demands that we can't back up, such as we have a claim over here, right? If Riga would have another province, such as maybe Samogita, and we don't have a claim on that, but we could demand both of these in a peace deal. But since we don't have a claim on this, this would be considered unjustified. So that particular idea would lessen the cost of those spur-of-the-moment unjustified demands by quite a bit. Let's check this unhappiness among the peasantry. Gain prestige, lose stability, or just lose couple ducats. We'll just lose a couple of ducats. So yeah, events generally choose the least bad option. Rarely, if ever, are they just plain beneficial. Yeah, that's a quarter less that you have to pay for unjustified demands. And lowered impact on stability from diplomatic actions. Right, so you lose less or less stability if you did some diplomatic shenanigans, such as declaring war without a justified cause. I think breaking up royal marriages makes you lose stability, so I wonder if you get to this point, if you could just break the marriages without any repercussions. That would be interesting. Okay, here we have trade ideas. This is something that we are absolutely going to take 100%. I'm not sure if it's going to be our first idea that we take, but it's going to be probably at the latest the second one. So we get trade power up, extra merchant, we have 2, so that'll give us a third. Trade range goes up, so we can send our merchants further up. Trade efficiency goes up, another merchant. Our trade steering is a lot more effective. Our national trade income modifier goes up, and then 1 more merchant still. So we could have 5 merchants if we max this, just roaming about the place, pushing all the trade to Baltic Sea trade node. So yeah, that's going to be something that we strive for. Then we have exploration ideas. This is a must if you are ever going to try and colonize anything. First off, the first tick gives you a colonist that you need, because yeah, you don't have one to begin with. Quest for the New World allows you to recruit explorers and conquistadors. They are military leaders that allow you to go into the unknown and find stuff out. And yeah, as you can see, that's kind of necessary because all this other area, it's already occupied. Not to say that, for example, the Americas weren't occupied at this time, but they were in the eyes of the colonizing nations. So you first need to find those areas where you can then just plonk your colonists down and start claiming it for the glory of whatever nation you are. Then, this is crucial, colonial range goes up by +50%, because it's really a race. The one who can reach the furthest gets to these, for example, if you are going for the North or the South Americas, whoever reaches the first has a huge edge, because they can just kind of block off other nations by quickly colonizing the coastline of, for example, South America over here. Then the other nations don't have enough colonial range to reach, and they can just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and hoping that they stay ahead of the other nations. And yeah, it can snowball a heck of a lot. Castile and Portugal are really good nations if you want to play like that. Then Land of Opportunity, global settler increase by 33. So your colonies finish become proper provinces a lot sooner if you hit this. Global tariffs. Colonies or overseas provinces. So, for example, again using the Americas, if you have colonies that have finished and become full provinces over here, they don't give you, I think, production straight off or trade straight off. I'm not 100% sure. It's either one or the other or both. They do give you tax, I think. Regardless, they mostly give you income as in the form of tariffs, and yeah, this idea increases those tariffs that you receive from having provinces overseas from where you are. That's considered like if a European nation has provinces over here, that's considered overseas, and Asia same, Australia, whatever. Everything is overseas if it's not like within the continent that's considered your home, kind of. Okay, then free colonies, additional colonists, so you can colonize more provinces simultaneously and they finish up faster. Again, overseas income goes up, both the taxes and the tariffs, I think. And finally, permanent casus belli against pagans. So I think that covers at least the American Indians. I don't know if there are other religious groups that are considered pagans exactly. Really not sure. Okay, regardless, we then have naval ideas. Morale of navies +1, as you can remember from explaining these sliders. Like it goes to a +2 if you are fully funding. That's 200%. So this gives you like a +100% boost to your navies, kind of. Yeah, if you want to have like kick-ass navies, just this entire tree, it's awesome. Prestige you receive from naval battles goes up by 100%, doubles it, awesome. Naval force limit, that means that you can have double this amount of ships before they start costing you extra really fast and a really lot. So again, Grand Navy. This is if you are going to be a naval power, this is just a must. Okay, bonus to our navy tradition, so it just goes up by us existing. Our naval leaders are naturally better at maneuvering, they get a +2. Our blockades are half again as effective as others, and our ships cost 1/5 less. And we can repair our ships when we are at coastal sea zones, so anywhere outside from like this middle of nothing sea zones. Really good, again, if you're going for ships. Then we have expansion ideas, which is kind of similar to exploration, but not quite. It's a mix of exploration and trade, again, kind of. First of all, you get a colonist. Second of all, you get a merchant. Then colonist travel type. So whenever you click on a province that's unclaimed, kind of, and you send your colonist there, it takes X amount of days until it arrives there, and this cuts it by 1/3. This is not extra special good, but it's okay-ish in speeding up the rate at which colonies finish, and it's especially good if you go mass colonizing, like send a colonist there, establish it, and immediately take your colonist out to send it to another province, so that you are colonizing multiple provinces at the same time. Now, if you leave your colonists in a province, it'll finish up a lot faster. But that's a way to like do the blocking thing that I was mentioning before. So this makes your colonists do that back and forth thing a lot faster. So for that, expansion is really good. Same diplomatic relation bonus as from diplomatic ideas. Improved ship rights, no shipyards, so our shipbuilding time goes down by 10%. Same diplomatic reputation bonus as from here, diplomatic influence +3, and our global trade power goes up by 20%. And finally, we have permanent casus belli against less advanced nations in Asia. I can only assume that means anyone who has slower tech than us, I guess. So this expansion is kind of a mix and match of all the others, I think. Okay, then finally, military ideas. Unsurprisingly, these deal mainly with your armies being better. So first, aristocracy. Cavalry recruitment costs less. The enemy has a lot harder time to create corps. Oh! The war we were in just ended, did it? No, it was just Poland versus Saxony. Never mind. Oh! That just happened. That was our war. Oh, and Denmark just declared war on us. Fancy that. I wonder why. Okay. But yeah, these battles just got done between Poland, Brandenburg, and Teutons, and Lithuania, and whatnot. So we didn't really take any part in it, and nothing major changed hands. One side lost and gave the other some money, and that was basically it. Ooh. Yeah, and we are none of our allies joined in, it looks like. So it's Denmark, Halceon, Sweden, and Norway, and they are trying to take Özel. So here. And yeah, I can pretty much guarantee that if the Teutons and the Hansa don't join in, we are just screwed. They are going to take Özel at least, and probably something else as well, because we cannot defend against them. There's just no way. You're going to see a horrible stack of doom just make their way here, either by boat or if they get military access, then maybe through Novgorod. I don't know yet, but I am fairly certain that we are boned in this war. Although if I'm really lucky, this might just be one of those instances that if they don't bring troops, time is going to be on our side. Okay, let's explain this at this point. Whenever you declare war for something. Usually it's for a province, at other times it's maybe like show superiority or something, and in that case the war goal is your capital. So as long as you hold your capital, you are gaining a ticking war score. This time the war goal is Özel. So as long as we hold Özel, we will slowly be gaining points as the winning side of this war. So if they, this coalition of Denmark, Norway, Sweden and Holstein, if they don't bring troops and take Özel, the longer the war goes on, the more points are accumulated in our favor, so we can more likely just piece them out and maybe even demand something from them, seeing that they haven't been able to take the target of the war in X amount of time. So there is a tiny glimmer of hope if they don't bring troops, and also if our allies join in. However, that is kind of unlikely. You want an alliance? No. Lithuania is vassal under Poland. Holy hell.